we spoke about BIOS and ROM earlier in the previous video. See, BIOS is not a hardware. BIOS, like you see, it's the OS. So this is how it looks if you have an old computer at home or even a Windows laptop, you might see this. So if your hard disk doesn't work, so I think this is the screen that you see. So BIOS is nothing but a piece of OS that comes with your motherboard. Let's just think of it, right? When you load or when you start your computer, what do you think is the first thing that has to start? Your Windows OS? No, I mean, initially your machine wouldn't know, right? See, machine is separate. The machine could be developed by Dell. The OS could be developed by Microsoft. So these don't go, like, they're not like the same company. So you could also install Linux, right? So when you get the motherboard just has the OS. You install your, this motherboard has only the BIOS. BIOS is the OS that I refer. But you can also install your Windows OS or a Mac OS in a hard drive. So that OS, that Windows OS or the Mac OS or the Linux OS, all these OS that is popularly known, that goes into the hard drive. Now, let's say you have two hard drives in your computer. It's possible to have that. Now, when you have two hard drives, how would you know which hard drive to boot? Two hard drives with two different OS. One has a Windows and another Linux. Which do you think will boot? Now, this BIOS has a system. This BIOS is basically where you could do minimal configurations. It can take inputs from your keyboard and mouse. It just knows that. I mean, it doesn't understand your printer, all that. So this BIOS, you can configure which hard disk to boot. So it also has some other configurations. That's a very detailed topic, but just understand a BIOS comes with the motherboard. So it loads the first time that you start your machine, and then in the BIOS it's been configured which OS it has to load.